Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So today I will be discussing the Chapter 2, 19th Century Philippines as Rizal's context. So, this presentation overview, you have certainly heard many changes in the 1990s as compared to your generation at present. So, when we think about changes from 1990s to our generation today, so there are many aspects when we talk about communication. Today we have already mobile phones, laptop, computers, tablets, and many more. Unlike before is nagamit sila atong writing, katong magsuwat-suwat sila nga binayran kada word. So it is very hassle to the society before. So today, mas ni high-tech pa ta, we have entered the modern life. So aside from communication, we have also transportation. Sa una, they use kalesa driven by a horses. But today, we have cars, buses, vans, motorcycles, and more. So, mas dali itang moabot sa atong padungnan. So, throughout the years, the Philippines has transformed in many ways, of course. A lot of changes have taken place brought about by many historical occurrences that have plagued the country. In this lesson, we will discuss the changes in the 19th century, categorizing the social, political, economic, and cultural changes in the Philippines. So, the 19th century, when we say 19th century, there is a birth in modern life. So, it means nga tanang gibuhi, tanang nabuhi sa tuig sugod 1900s, maka-experience na sa birth of modern life or the modernity. So, maka-experience na sa hanggingon ganiha nga makasakay ng sakyanan, makasakay na og mga buses, makasakay na og airplanes, and more. And maka-communicate na po sila on their loved ones by using mobile phones and computer, laptop, through Skype. There are many websites, there are many apps nga use na ron nga mas mapadali pa nato. So more so, the birth of many nation-states all over the world. So it's not just the Philippines who had the modernity. It is also there are also countries nga naapoy modernity today. For example is Japan. Of course, it is very evident in Japan when we see in Facebook, YouTube, in TikTok, the Japan had a very advanced technology. Of course, the America, United States, China, and more foreign countries. So for us to understand to what Dr. Jose Rizal have done during the 19th century, let us look the different developments and accomplishments in that period that changed and shaped the landscape of the Philippines economy, society, and politics. So, this advancement or these changes brings us the revolutions. So, in these revolutions, we have three types. First is the Industrial Revolution. When we say about Industrial Revolution, there is a development in our industry, in the Philippines industry. When we talk about industrial, it involves I have said lately, it involves the communication, the transformation, our economy, of course, and the second revolution is the American Revolution. So, as a recall, American Revolution brings the Philippines a democratic government. Okay? So, sila tong nagbitbit na tog democracy in which kita nga mga tao, kita nga mga Filipinos are free to voice out our opinions and thoughts regarding in political aspects in the Philippines, of course. And also, American Revolution or the American also brings us a good system in education. So that's why gipadayon pa na aron sa Philippines, and that's why ang mga student karon is naka-experience of course good education through the teachers and the curriculum that is been given by the DepEd, of course. Now, the third revolution is the French Revolution in France. Now, during this period, the Spaniards have already been in so much power to some parts of the world. So, ang Spaniards in these periods have a vast influence sa tibuok kalibutan. So, since Spaniards has the power before, especially the friars, sa time ni Rizal, the friars has become the ruler and has become the great power. In fact, gidawdaog mga Filipino sa una. That's why through Rizal, through his intelligence and wisdom, is that gibit-bitan niya to this new era in which free na ta, we are free to make our decisions without any gilabag. Of course, pareha sa friar sa una nga, di sila ganahan o malabon sila because they are so greedy. According to the El Fili novel, it is a novel by Rizal which is made made and inspired by the friars, no? Kay friar sa una is very harsh to the Filipinos. So, the next one is, in the Revolution and the years of Revolution, during Governor General Jose de Basco arrived in the Philippines. So, kinsa man ni si General Jose de Basco? So, General Jose de Basco, he is a Spanish general in which is tasked to create a plan for the Philippines economy. So, when we say create a plan, syempre si General Jose de Basco had objectives for the Philippines to have a great economy, of course. So, according to my research, one of the objectives of Jose de Basco is that to promote agricultural aspects to the economy of the Philippines. So, it means nga, when we say about agricultural is that kini nga mga products is from farms. And usually, ning focus sila sa maong tobacco, sugar, and many more products. And the second objectives of Jose de Basco for the Philippines economy is that there is a development of textile manufacturers. So, when we say about textile is that there is the presence of fabric, clothing. So, mo na siya ang gipasidak-an ni Jose de Basco to have here in our country, in the Philippines. So, their trading system wasn't in progress, but there are countries who was already apparent among our ancestors, and trades with the Spaniards came to the Philippines. These countries are China, Japan, Siam that are now Thailand, India, Cambodia, Borneo, and Moluccas known as the Spice Island. So, Spice Island mo man ang katong country nga nag-provide sa mga kanang mga lamas. They are abundant sa mga lamasan. Okay. So, Jose de Basco naka-notice siya og trading in the Philippines, which is not progressed in the hands of Spaniards. That's why ning end up siya to have the Manila-Acapulco trade. So, before that, Spanish government continued the trade relations with the said countries. Therefore, Manila became the center of the commerce in the East. So, sige kaingon na o kaniha, the Spaniards had a trading in the Philippines, and which is not progressed according to Jose de Basco, that he had noticed that this trading is not progressed. However, Spanish government continue the trading, and therefore the Manila is known to be the center of the commerce in the East. However, the Philippines, allegedly a Spanish colony, was governed from Mexico, making it in the year 1565. Spaniards closed all the ports of Manila from all countries except Mexico, causing the birth of Manila-Acapulco trade, more than known as the Galleon trade. So, aside sa kadtong Manila became the center of commerce, there are many countries as well involved to this. But because of Jose de Basco, he had closed all the ports of those countries except Mexico. That's why this is the birth now of the Manila-Acapulco trade, more than known as the Galleon trade. So the trading is in between only in Mexico or Acapulco of Mexico and Manila. So what is Manila-Acapulco trade or the Galleon trade? Now, the Galleon trade is the government monopoly, which means when we say government monopoly, it is when the government itself has the only power. It owns and controls which particularly our industry, and there is no competition. So, the galleon, which means ship, so when we say ship, nasa dagat, of course. So, the galleon trade is a ship trade going back and forth between Manila and Acapulco and Mexico. So, this is a ship. There is a ship nga mag-trade siya, mag-cargo siya o mga products in between Mexico and Manila back and forth. Okay. So, the trading has two galleons or ships used in trading. We have ship 1 and ship 2. So, on ship 1, it is a ship that sailed from Acapulco to Manila, from Mexico to Manila, and the ship 2 sailed from Manila to Mexico, or vice versa of the ship 1. Now, on ship 1, it carries 500,000 pesos worth of goods, spending 120 days at the sea. And the ship 2 as well brings or carries 250,000 pesos worth of goods, a half to what ship 1 carries, and as well spending 90 days at the sea. So mas gamay siya o gispend nga days sa sea unlike sa ship 1. So what about this trading? So first, the trading started when Andres de Ordaneta in convoy under Miguel Lopez de Legazpi discovered a return route from Cebu, from which the galleon actually landed first to Mexico in 1565. So, kini si galleon trade ay mas napadali ni siya, especially a return route ug pabalik na sila sa Manila, mas mapadali sila because of Andres de Ordaneta with the convoy of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, mas napadali ang ilahang trading. It's because natuuran aning duha ka persons ang return route from Cebu, ang return route nga naa sa Cebu, of course. So, ang katunga mot ship nga from Manila to Mexico, it is the ship 2, right? So ship 2. So it's the ship 1, of course. So it is the ship 1. So the ship 1 daw mas dali na ni diyang muabot sa iyahang padulngan, which is to Manila, from which the galleon actually landed first to Mexico. Okay. Padung sa Manila by the help of the return route from Cebu. So, second is the trading system served as the economic lifeline for the Spaniards in Manila, serving most trades between China and Europe. So, isa gikaingon na the involved countries in trading is ka-mention na ganiha is na-include ang China. So, the question is, what are the goods being traded? So, we say that during heyday, a period once greatest prosperity of the galleon trade, Chinese silk was far the most important cargo. So, whatever happens, whatever products nga gisod ana nga gikarga ana nga galleon trade, during heyday, Chinese silk must be there. The Chinese silk must be included in the galleon trade. So, for instance, other goods including tamarind, rice, carabao, Chinese tea and textiles, fireworks, and tuba. Exotic goods such as perfumes, porcelain, cotton, fabric from India, and precious stones were shipped via Galleon. So imagine there are vast or dako kaadyo kinadaghanan nga products nga gibitbit si Galleon trade. So maka-imagine ta that this ship is of course dako ni siya nga ship since maka-carry man si og most with the ship 1 maka-carry si og at least 500,000 worth of goods, and the ship 2 maka-carry si og 250,000 worth of goods. So imagine nimo nga dako ni siya nga ship, and of course in response dako sa dukita ning maong Galleon trade. So along the process, what is it gained? Of course, after unloading, when we say after unloading, so pag humana og diskarga sa maong products from the Galleon trade. So after unloading, this cargo normally yielded a profit of at least 100 to 300%. So imagine 100 to 300%. So dako sila og madapot nga we say kita sa Galleon trade. However, on its return voyage, the vessel brought back huge quantities of Mexican silver and other prized flora and fauna such as guava, avocado, papaya, pineapple, horses, and cattle. So, aside from the 100 to 300% nga makita nila or profit after unloading, so on its return voyage pod, makabitbit pod sila og mga goods and other prized flora and fauna such as guava, avocado, papaya, pineapple, horses, and cattle. So, because of the system's growth, Governor Jose de Bascos, once who behind the birth of Galleon trade, he has a thought of making an organization to be called the Royal Philippine Company. So, this organization aims to support financially both agricultural and new trade made between the Philippines and the Spain, the Manila-Acapulco trade. So, Jose Governor de Basco, it has been said lately that one of his objectives is to promote agricultural products. So, in here, Jose de Basco thought of that there is a lack or kulang daw ang maong Galleon trade. That's why he ended up a proposal about an organization which is to be called the Royal Philippine Company, which is the organization's this organization's objective is to financially support the Galleon trade, especially in the field of agricultural and the new trade made between the Philippines and the Spain. Okay, so however, there are people opposed to the proposal of General Basco, especially to the Catholic Church, for they see that this organization planned reforms brought changes. These traders were not accepted. Of course, since naamaning opposed, that's why ang traders sa maong Galleon trade were not accepted. So, on the other hand, the new organization has seen issues on mismanagement and corruption. Mas ningdako pa ang factor sa Catholic Church to not accept the proposal of General Jose de Basco. Kaya nakita man nila nga there is a mismanagement and corruption sa mga organization. But, what makes General Jose de Basco great is that iyang he still pursue the organization and continues to develop reforms. And especially when we talk about his reforms, na siya objective to this organization. So one of these is that Chinese merchants are prohibited to trade internally. Okay, so introduce development of cash crops farms, of course, crops cultivated for export, and very strict policies between the continuous opening of Manila to foreign markets. Established monopoly, maximized tobacco production. So, sa reform sa organization ni General de Basco, it has been said that there is a limitation to the freedom of the trading. That's why he proposed a very strict policies reforms, since maybe he believes that with these policies there is a limitation, and in which will lift the trading and objective of this organization efficiently, of course. So Under the reform of maximized tobacco production, it has been said in the reform of Jose de Basco that there is a we say the maximized tobacco production. So it's been said in 1871 the first tobacco monopoly was established in Cagayan Valley, Ilocos Region, La Union, Isabela, Abra, Nueva Ecija, and Marinduque. So these provinces of these locations in the Philippines were the only ones who will tanom a tobacco. Okay, so these are, as I repeat, Cagayan Valley, Ilocos Region, La Union, Isabela, Abra, Nueva Ecija, and Marinduque. So these provinces were the only ones. So they are the only ones allowed to plant the tobacco, and this is the only plant that was allowed to be planted on the farmlands by the reform of the organization. So the government exported tobacco to the other countries, and part of it were given of the cigarette factories in Manila. So, the Industrial Revolution. So, it has been said lately that there is a three revolution in 19th century, or the birth of the modern life. So, first, I will be discussing the Industrial Revolution. So, what is Industrial Revolution? In this revolution, there is the inventions of steam engines and machines that were used in manufacturing were developed. Most significant revolution or developments in 19th century. Because from being a country that relied on machines and wage labor, economic status had totally changed. Traders this time were fortunate to become the first capitalists. Industrial workers were former farmers who migrated from rural areas and remote provinces of Europe. So, in summary, in this revolution, Industrial Revolution, there is the invention or the occurrence of the steam engine and machines that were used in manufacturing. Since gipasidak-an man sa maong Industrial Revolution, the advancement for the industry, for the Philippine industry, so there is the occurrence of the steam engines and machines na used for manufacturing. So when we say about the modernity, so of course, these engines and machines makes fastest manufacturers or makes a fast manufacture of products. So, ibig sabihin, kung paspas, there's also a we say demand, high demand for workers. So, mas daghang gikinahanglan ng workers. That's why the people who live in rural areas migrated to do the work in in this advancement. And of course, tungod kay paspas man ang production, and there are many peoples nga maka-receive og labor, mas dako ang factor sa economy. Of course, ang mga people dili na kadyo maglisod since na naman sila income by their labor. So, the economic also is mas paspasad ang production. Since paspas ang production, mas masuportahan sad ang mga needs sa Filipinos and even people worldwide, since there is a Galleon trade, so there is a trading or export of the products from the Philippines. So, one more thing is that from this, positive effects took place as the Industrial Revolution contributed many things to the people. So first, the Philippines was open for world commerce. Okay, so when we say world commerce is that there is a sharing. So makahatag taog, katong giyon ganiha, there is the export of products to the other countries. From the Philippines, of course, from the Philippines product. So, foreigners were also engaged in manufacturing and agriculture. The Philippine economy became dynamic and balanced. There was also a rise for new, influential, and wealthy people. Wealthy, of course, specifically Filipino middle class. People were encouraged to participate in the trade, migration, and increase in population were encouraged. So, sabotable naman siya. So, sa madungog nato, so Industrial Revolution, daghan siya kaadyong positive effects sa Philippines, especially sa citizens in the Philippines. So, ang uban di na kayo maglisod, ang uban na ani saktong income, ang uban ma-provide na lang everyday needs because of the Industrial Revolution. Okay, so that is the end of my part to be discussed. So this time I will be given the part of my co-group to discuss the next part. Okay, that would be all, and thank you.